It's Monday, August 6th, and it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're looking out to actually the Atlantic Ocean. From the balcony of my hotel in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida. That's a view of Ponce de Leon Avenue. Actually, this is the hotel I'm staying at. This is the Monterey Hotel, and it overlooks the bay here. Very nice. It's about 100 degrees out today. Everybody's getting a good tan. If they didn't in this heat, they'd be in Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, which we're going to see sometime. I was going to take a tour, but they start very early in the morning and they're over a couple hours long. We're going to do that tomorrow. First of all, we're going to take a look around here and see what's happening in the oldest city of the world. No, it's the oldest city in the nation. I guess the first thing I should do is show you my glorious hotel room. Actually, this isn't one of the oldest hotels in the nation. It comes close to being, but it isn't. And of course, it's done in a Spanish-style mode. It seems like everything here in the city is Spanish. Parking lot. I'm around the. Actually, I'm in the corner. There's my car. Wait. Yeah, there's the old Chevy. I actually made it here, believe it or not. And my room is right there by the Coke machine. They knew where to put me, in the corner. So let's go over and check it out. Pepsi machine right outside my door, so I can see who's buying Pepsi at all hours of the day. Of course, I hope I don't have to spend all hours of the day in this particular hotel room. This is room 116. And here's the magic key. Thank you, sir. Stay in there. You can get that. This nice gentleman is helping me out. Thank you. Here's the hotel room. This is the Monterey Inn, and it's done in a Spanish-style mode, much like many of the YMCAs were done in Southern California. I don't think Ponce de Leon ever stayed here, but I'll bet a lot of old people did. That's interesting plaster work up there, and of course they've got your run-of-the-mill Mediterranean, I don't know what you'd call it. Looks like your regular rent-a-furniture, really. They've got this interesting wallboard up, and that, of course, looks very dated. And that's a picture of Pedro de Mendes de Corcara. And I guess we should check out what's in the salle de bain here. This is the bathroom, yeah. Oh yes. And I've got my little tub and my pot, and that's very interesting tile. I like that tile. Let's get a closer shot of that. See, that's it. Never seen that particular style before. And I don't have a tub, which I'm glad, but I've got my little shower, which I haven't tried out yet. I only got here about 2 hours ago, and the first thing I did was go to the pool. I was a mess. It's got to be about 100 degrees out here today, and all I did was go and dunk myself. And of course I've brought, this is the first vacation that my dog Susie and I have ever taken. And it's kind of like going on vacation with Bugs Bunny. I have been given at the front desk a veritable plethora of sightseeing information and the things to do and see here in St. Augustine. And this right here is the first thing I'm going to attempt, I think, as far as sightseeing. I'm not going to do that until tomorrow, but they've got a number of really jazzed out tours here. They've got an hour tour up to a 9-hour tour. Can't get that in focus, but the 9-hour tour costs something like $35 or something, and you get to see the old jail and the old fort and the House of Wax and I don't know, maybe the Fountain of Youth. That's the thing that I've really got to search for while I'm here. And if I can find it, believe me, I'll waterlog myself in it. And they've got this particular thing which interests me. I might do this tonight. What they have is a movie called The Dream Empire, which is the story of Juan Ponce de Leon's exploration here. And they also have a stage masterpiece of the adventure and seeing the founding of St. Augustine and their struggle to survive. And I don't really need to see that theatrical piece. And I look out at the tourists, I wonder what their struggle to survive is. The menial age is about 65 here. Well, before I go on my little train tour, let's take a little stroll around the environs. Beginning of the film that we were looking out on the balcony over St. Petersburg. Well, I've been out in the sun too long. I'm going to go back out in it again. It's my favorite Pepsi machine. Well, let's take a little walk. We have the carriages. They're over there. Let's see if I can get a better shot. And they're all lined up there in front in this heat. Maybe I might go for a ride in those. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I can smell the horses from here. Castillo de San Marcos is right beside the hotel. And that's this big fortress over there, which we'll probably see tomorrow on the tour. I'm going to go inside there. Actually, it kind of reminds me of some of the apartment buildings in New York by the hotel. Just down the walkway. And over here, I'm going to take a little walk down this alley here. This is borders along the hotel. And you walk into the really ancient part of St. Augustine. Okay. This will give you an idea where we're at. It's the alleyway. That's my hotel. And right in back of it is we run into these brick streets. Let's take a stroll down this campus. This is really charming back here. It's really quite a beautiful place. And we've got a leather shop. Not the kind I'm thinking about, though. I'm going to probably stop and start at some places of interest, give you a shot of them, because the more I talk to myself in this camera, the more people look at me and think I'm out of my mind. Well, I am. Tavern looks a lot like a English pub, almost. Right across the street at it is the different drummer. I used to read a magazine by that title. This is not the publication house. This is a toy factory. Over here is Savannah Sweets. I used to know a drag queen by that name. Wheelers for Christmas. George Street. And we're on Cunha Street. Take a look at this little street around the corner here. Yeah, there's a lot to see around here. Well, let's see, I'll go this direction. Lots and lots of tourists. This is a little shopping area called the Grove. It's one of the ancient places. Take a look at this wall. Made out of dead seashells or barnacles. This looks pretty. I like it. I'd like to have a house built out of that. That goes back there into a little enchanted place. Uh-oh, time for church. It's a wonder somebody didn't burn it down. Another view from the south side of the port, or the fort, whatever that damn thing is. And that's the Golden Gate, early gates. I hope the Fountain of Youth is in there somewhere. I'm going to walk into town now. Take a look at that. It's a dirt road in St. Petersburg. This is like off the beaten track, really. And I would suspect that the real people in St. Petersburg live here, like in this particular house. It's pretty well beaten, but it still has that charm, you know? Yeah, this is like probably the place where the real St. Augustinians live. Kind of like Tobacco Road. Bubbles and books. This house is for sale. I have ideas of moving to St. Augustine. This isn't like get downtown here. Yes, needs a lot of work. Carriageway bed and breakfast is a number of these inns, it seems. Would have been fun to stay in one of these places. Of course, they don't allow doggies. We're going to turn here on Cordova Street. Some interesting architecture on this street. Dragoon Barracks, a first Spanish period two-story coquina shingle-roofed structure. I always wondered what a coquina was. Now I know. By birth, I am a Presbyterian. And what you're about to see is not a Catholic church, but a Presbyterian church. This is the most Catholic-looking Presbyterian church I have ever seen. This is just about enough to make me go back to church again. Absolutely gorgeous. It's this type of house that I would actually like to go into. I'd like to see how the people have these decorated, you know. This is a particularly pretty street. They have a mixture of architectures along here. They'll have the modern house mixed in with the old Spanish style, mixed in with the southern plantation style down there. We'll walk on down there and take a closer look. This here little shanty is called Markland. It's the plantation owned by the Anderson family. And that's not Lonnie Anderson either. Now that's my style of living, Southern style, with biscuits and gravy. Now, we're looking down one of the main streets of St. Augustine, one of the main throughways. And down here at the end of that picket fence, we're going to run into Flagler College. And that is a nice little birthday cake unto itself, too. Was actually at first the Ponce-de-Leon Hotel. It was erected in 1885. I don't know when it became the college. Some of the detail work in here is magnificent. Isn't that beautiful? There's Hank Flagler. He died in 1913. I honestly wish this was still a hotel. I would love to stay here. God, I would have liked to have gone to college here. Across the street is another interesting building. This was also a hotel. It's now a museum, and I believe this is the place where they had the film showing, which I'll probably see tonight. Now, just across the street from Flagler College lies another interesting piece of architecture, and that's called Zareta's Castle. Yeah, I think I'm going to go in there. And another shot of Flagler College. That's not just the one building. There's more of it spread out down here, of course. I'm not going to take you over and see the whole thing. I thought I might show you this, though. Here's my main man. Juan de Ponce de Leon. I'll never be able to pronounce his name right. Ponce de Leon, what the hell? Yep. Now, this is the oldest store in the nation. Surprising. The oldest store in the nation is right across the street from Woolworth's. The next to the oldest store in the nation. Here by the bay on the main route again, and I ran into a Wendy's. Yeah, this is where the beef is at. Might go over here for dinner tonight. Looks interesting. Santa Maria Restaurant. It's out there. And over there is their band shell. I guess they have their public concerts over here. Right there is the band shell itself. Take a closer look at it. Oh, they've already got a permanent fresco up there. What is that, a beach scene? Huh. Maybe they do South Pacific every year here. I don't know. Who knows? There's a marina out there. And a few small yachts. Looks like an interesting little old wooden thing. Right there is the bridge. That leads over to St. Augustine's beaches, which I think I might take a drive over there tonight. I just might go for a dunk. There's a sightseeing boat tour also. I wonder if I ought to check that out. Yeah, we'll. Boat again. Well, there is one at 8:30 tonight. So, if I don't see the show, and if I don't see the movie, maybe I'll get on this boat and see what that's like. It's $7. I'd do anything to just get some of the sea breeze. It's so damned hot here today. I must have lost a quart of water. Oh well. Let's head back to the mainland. There's a nice breeze coming off this bay. I'm back here on the main drag, which is Ponce de Leon Avenue. It's tilted right now. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this. There we are. Now this is the main drag here. Of course, buttons come up and down, all everything. Very historic. And up there is that? Is that the Monterey Inn? Sure is. Guess I better head back and feed Susie. It's about 6:30. We're gonna go across the Bridge of the Lions. That is, if this car will ever make it across. This is probably going to be the last trip that this car will see. And then, good riddance to bad rubbish. We're going to St. Petersburg Beach. What am I talking about? St. Petersburg? I get this mixed up with St. Petersburg. My brain is burnt out. Rough seas out here. This is no Gulf of Mexico, let me tell you. This is the Atlantic Ocean. My God! A lot of people. This is the St. Augustine Pier. Beach, I don't know where it is. It's about a mile down. If it's anything like this pier, forget it. Now, I'm glad I'm back inland on the bay. Really. It's kind of Deadsville out here, you know? This looks like, you know, a highway motel time out here. A lot of people stay out here and then they go in and see St. Augustine. I guess they're under the impression that they're going to stay out at the beach. Well, there is no beach. You know, over there is a budget 6, and you know, that's that kind of action out here, so I'm very glad I'm staying where I'm at. It's about 8 o'clock. Now I'm getting hungry, so I think I'm gonna drive back inland. That is, if that damned car will make it. Oh my God! Get something to eat. Enough of this. Make a U-turn right in the middle of St. Augustine to get back to my hotel. Oh, please, don't tell me there's no parking places. It's Tuesday morning, August 8th, in St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah.
I'll be your tour guide and driver this morning as we take a 7.5-mile tour of the city. As we go through town, we make 15 stops. If you come across something you'd like to stop off at, simply step off the trolley at a designated stop. Please not at a stop sign or a stoplight. We're not allowed to pick up passengers or discharge passengers at the corners. Another trolley comes by each one of our stops every 15 minutes to pick you up and continue right along on your tour. It's a real good way to see the city. So sit back and relax. Hopefully your tour will be enjoyable, entertaining, and maybe even educational. We might even learn something along the way today. Florida was discovered in the year 1513 by Juan Ponce de Leon. Ponce de Leon discovered Florida during the Easter season. It was the spring of the year, and he named this area after the season he was traveling in. La Pascua Floridia, the season of flowers. Now, Ponce de Leon was an explorer. He was not a settler. He was looking for gold and silver when he came to this area. He didn't find any here. He wasn't ready to settle down yet, so he just claimed the land for Spain and moved on. This area was not actually settled until the year 1565. It was in that year that King Philip of Spain found out that the French had settled just to the north of us. King Philip was outraged to think that the French would settle in Spanish-owned Florida. So he sent Don Pedro Menendez over here to take care of things. Menendez, after many bloody battles, defeated the French, and he and his 600 settlers settled right here in St. Augustine on September the 8th, 1565. That was 42 years before the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock, 55 years before the English settled in Jamestown, making St. Augustine the oldest continuously occupied settlement in the United States.
He's the man with the strongest eyes in the world. If you're the least bit squeamish, please do not watch this next exhibition, because R.H. Hubbard performs one of the most unusual eye tests ever seen. No ophthalmologist would recommend this kind of workout. It gives nails into his head, lips, to tell the tale. Our Mr. Hubbard can. Those are 6-inch spikes penetrating a full 4 inches into his skull. Nothing else. Ouch. The man who can swallow anything. Watch this. A fish? Surely no one could overcome the natural revulsion of putting a live mouse in their mouth. And the mouth is fine. The man? Watch out. He's looking for something else to swallow. Unusual talents run the gamut from the mildly shocking to the rare and bizarre. But this is the strangest performance you will ever see. This is Alfred Langdon, a man gifted from birth with an amazing ability. Keep your eye on the balloon. How can this be done? The answer lies deep within the mysteries of the genetic code. But if blowing up balloons seems like child's play, watch this. He can actually smoke through his eye. Incredible. Yes. But what's even more amazing is that he has never once been asked to butt out in a crowded elevator or restaurant table. He's the incredible man with the revolving head. Part human, part owl, who can say? He squirms, he twists, he wriggles like a reptile, and voila! Joe Ladello is one of the few people in the world who's actually seen what his back looks like without looking in a mirror. And with this point of view, he's got perfect 20/20 hindsight. Meet the man with a rubber physique. With his double-jointed shoulders, he ties himself in knots. He whips his arms like a whirling dervish. He makes them twist and twirl like spaghetti on an egg beater. And he enjoys it. If he's itchy, that's it. A little over to the left. No problem. He just scratches it. He not only amazes his friend, he rewrites the anatomy books. If his arms look like they were put on backwards, watch his feet. He can turn himself completely around. No one's sure if he's coming or going, including him. Unusual disciplines, each one an oddity, each a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
And we're going to be on our way, all aboard. Here we go. Now we're going to jump ahead in time here to the year 1883, when a man by the name of Henry Morrison Flagler came to St. Augustine. Mr. Flagler was a very wealthy man. He was one of the co-founders of Standard Oil, which is now Exxon Corporation. I like architecture. Anyway, this was only $4 a night to stay at the Hotel Alcazar. And for that, you got 3 meals. You got to use the Turkish baths, the bowling alleys, the casino, the tennis courts, the croquet courts, and the indoor swimming pool. It was bought by Otto Leitner after it went bankrupt during the Depression. And he bought it to house his collection of collectibles. Mr. Leitner had gone all around the world collecting other people's collections, and they're now held here inside of the Leitner Museum. The music boxes and the player pianos are set off every day at 11 and 2. And
Well, this is the street where the oldest house in the nation is. And that's what we're going to visit next. Doesn't look so old to me. Looks brand new, in fact.
Okay, but it's right here at the very end of St. Francis Street, right down there. But you see the white wall there?
Yep.
To the right there is St. Francis.
Florida dates back to the 1650s.
I'd go in here, but I think it's a ripoff. Besides, it's hot as hell out here. Well, if this is the oldest house, I can sure tell there's been a lot of renovating done on it. Oh, I can peek in here. See if I can see in there. Oh, this is nothing. Forget it. I'm hot and I'm tired and I need me a drink.
Would you like a sample?
Well, I sure would. I'd like about a gallon of that.
Yeah, that's why I wonder how much I have to drink to.
Well, here goes nothing. Needs a little bit of bourbon in it, I think. Well, at least I got my shot of water. I'm in the Fountain of Youth National Park. And this happened the minute I got through the entranceway, so I'm kind of stuck here. After all, I can't walk out in the rain with this camera. A $2,000 toy gets wet. So I took shelter under this little structure, which is the Fountain of Youth Planetarium. And the show is going to start in about 15 minutes. They've got a little exhibition here in the foyer. This replica of a Spanish galleon, life on a Spanish galleon. Yeah. I got some of this stuff over here. show star. Well, as you can see, the Fountain of Youth didn't do too much for me. And to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit angered and a lot frustrated right now. It poured down while I was stuck at the Fountain of Youth, and the park closed at 5 o'clock. That meant there were no tour buses, no taxis, no nothing. And I was 2 miles from the hotel. And I walked home. Well, 2 days in St. Augustine is enough. It's a nice place to visit, but just try and stay awake here. Anyway, tomorrow, Charleston.
went to his daughter's bedroom, and right before she was to marry, laid something like $75,000.
Y'all hush now, Susie. Hush down now. Hush now, Susie. Hush. Better watch out, Susie. That thing will bite you. Woo! See the horses. My God, these peacocks follow you. Oh, Jesus. Yes. Chickens and dogs and cats and cows. Just stay there. Just hold off, you'll get your dinner later. Susie, be nice to him. Must be lunchtime. Well, let's head up to the house, see what's cooking.
it working? Turn it off. Make 9. Step right in there up to the ropes.
Okay.
I'd like to welcome you all to Magnolia. This is the third house built here at the plantation. First house was burnt by accident in 1810. Second by Sherman's troops as they marched north from Savannah in 1865. Now, of the second house, the foundations remain to this day, as do the back steps and the front steps. The front of the house was built facing the river, the Ashley River, which was the main line of communication and transport. The house that you're in now was a pre-revolutionary summer cottage that Reverend Drayton owned in Somerville, about 12 miles north of here. After the Civil War, he had it moved down the river on a barge and then rebuilt on this side.
Could you speak a little louder, please?
Sure.
The noise back there.
Oh, I can take care of that. Excuse me a second. Greatest pleasure. Now, the only trouble is I've forgotten where I got to. Where did I get to? Rebuild the house. Rebuild house. Okay, this is the third house. It's a much smaller house. Reverend John had it moved from Somerville on a barge and rebuilt on this side. 4 rooms on the ground floor, 4 rooms above. Porches were added on the outside, and on the very far side of the plantation house, there was still an exposed section of foundation, so Reverend John just simply put a roof over it, and the area beneath was made into his kitchen. Reverend John inherited Magnolia in 1836. It was a rice-producing plantation of well over 2,000 acres, and it needed 300 slaves to run it. The gardens consisted of the 17th century garden Flowerdale, which does remain to this day, and formal gardens laid out in a rigid European style, on either side of the house and in front of the house, right down to the river. Reverend John went on to New York to complete his studies, and he returned to Charleston in 1839, bringing with him his bride, Julia Ewing of Philadelphia. Almost immediately contracted tuberculosis, and it was a good 8 years before he could resume a normal lifestyle, and it was during that period of time that he tore out the floral gardens and introduced the first azaleas to be established in the United States. Just had 2 daughters. Julia, in this photograph, was named for her mother, and Ellen. But it was Julia who would inherit the plantation upon the death of Reverend Drayton in 1891. She married William Hasty, and so from 1891 to the present day, it is the Hasty family that own Magnolia. On this wall, we have 3 photographs. The top one is of old St. Andrew's water in her husband is an alcoholic, and she just found he wouldn't give her any money to maintain the place and everything, and she got it one day to sign papers to say he'd sell it, and so.
But she was a Hastings,
No, neither of them were. Neither of them were. It was sold out of the family. Reverend John sold it out. The people who sold it has been in that side of the family ever since. You know. I've forgotten the name of the family back then. But anyhow.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear a whole lot.
I'm sorry. I'll shout even louder.
Yeah, I told you to raise your voice.
That's loud to me. Okay, the cannonball in front of the windows from the Civil War period, and next to it a hollowed out tree trunk. We believe it's an original. It was unearthed behind one of our slave houses, and in it rice would be placed, beaten with a mallet, taken out, shaken, and separated. Now from this was invented a rice husking mill by John Drayton of Drayton Hall down the road, related to the family here. And we have a scale model in this corner. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about this room, then I'm going to let you have a few minutes and you can turn on the machinery. Last person out, please turn it off, but leave the lights on. Now the sawmill next to it, very typical of those in the early 1800s, powered by an Eli Whitney steam engine. Cotton gin in the corner, cotton though never grown at Magnolia. Directly ahead of me, Ellisby's Mill that was built in Sumter, South Carolina in 1825. It's a corn mill and still in production. In the cabinet to the left of that, on the top shelf, we have a book of poetry first published in 1627, written by another Drayton ancestor, Michael. All the artifacts in the cabinet have been found on the plantation. The Indian... Oh! See? Isn't it that? What are you doing? I thought you were staying. I thought you were staying in the pool. Oh, I'll goodbye. He's one of the nice. Really at the eve of the revolution, so it's never used for tax purposes. But it is on this original linen backing and accurate within 1/8 of an inch, and there are, to our knowledge, only 4 others in existence. The library table beneath it is made of oak and carved in the Italian Renaissance style. It's about 150 years old and said to weigh about 500 pounds. The eagle is part of the family's collection of German Meissen, more of which you can see here on the mantelpiece. The one in the centre being one of the older pieces in the house. It dates to 1720 and given. I wonder how dear old Dan Wild is doing out in Saudi Arabia. Why is what they call Dan Wild, are we? Oh, Lord. It must be quitting time when your mind starts falling in different directions. Okay, they have everybody. Now, I'm sorry? Oh, no more talking to me for once. This is the only piece of furniture to survive the fire of 1865. It's the end of Reverend Drayton's banquet table, which is a Duncan fife on a pedestal base. It was pulled out of the rubble of the second house, and when Reverend Drayton returned to Charleston in 1869, he had it restored. The cabinet is a colonial piece that's over 200 years old and moved here from the William Gibbs house in Charleston. It has a 13 panes of glass representing the original colonies. On display inside we have a small portion of a much larger collection of French Limoges china family owned. A few pieces of the dessert plates at the top portion, and on the lower portion a few cups and saucers and a teapot or tea service. The china on the dining table has an interesting history. It's Chinese exportware, 1790 to 1810, lower stocked, kind of a Manchurian pattern. It was ordered by the Drayton family directly from China and shipped to Charleston, and has been in the family ever since. Specifically designed to be found in the entrance hallways of large homes, thus the name, a hospitality piece. The silver service and christening mug both date to 1849 and were manufactured out of American coin silver. The mug given to Julia by her father to commemorate her christening. The service, a retirement gift to William Hasty, who was to become Julia's father-in-law. Now do not confuse this service with the one buried by the tomb in the garden for safekeeping. When that was retrieved after the Civil War, it had to be sold. After She don't listen. Thanks. See you later. Okay. Where's the baby gone?
You sure don't smell like magnolias about the rest of the place, do you? Here, boy. Here, want to take a finger off? Forget it.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, sister and brother.
That's at the table when you hold him. He just lays his head.
Where's Timothy? Or where's Michael?
Look out. I'm coming in.
That's Marion Square. The apartment overlooks Marion Square in North Charleston.
Let's get out of here.
Hey.
Hello, Denny.
Oh,
Welcome
hi.
to Millersville. Come on in.
Oh. Yeah, this is, well, isn't this nice? Where's Sandy?
Sandy's in bed.
Oh, well, let's get her out. I've got to see her.
Come on upstairs.
Okay. So this is your house, huh?
This is the dining room.
Oh, boy.
It used to be the living room, but we switched the living room and the dining room.
That's
So
what
this
I
is
remember.
Now,
That's what I
this is
remember.
the dining room because it's larger.
Yeah. Have you served food out in here? Have you had parties?
And this is the living room in here.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is the kitchen. And this is your doggy bag from dinner, from what you didn't eat.
Now, what about this is your new
This
section?
is the family room that was added. We added this about 6 years ago.
This is actually the most used room in the house.
This is where we do most of our living.
It's very spacious and well decorated. I hear a scratch.
Well, that's
scratch.
Susie out on the screened-in porch.
Well, she'll be all right after I go out and beat her for doing that. Well, what else is there here in the house here?
And then we have down the hall.
Okay. When did you have the wood panel and flooring put in?
It's always been hardwood. We just had the floors refinished. Don't come in here yet. Wait.
Kitty cats in here? Since Susie's been here, there's 4 cats in this house, and they've had to lock them up because Susie will eat them. Lots of artwork in this house. And collectibles. Well, is it all right?
This is the dressing room, my dressing room.
Well, actually, this is your 3rd bedroom, correct?
Could be a 3rd bedroom.
Oh, I don't remember seeing this. I don't ever remember seeing this room. I thought that there was some kind of, maybe it's the next room over.
Well, we had this cupboard built.
You mean that this room was actually went against the wall?
Went back to there, and we had this cupboard built. It
Well,
made
this
the room
was
small.
actually a small bedroom.
A small bedroom, right.
Here's your Ethan Allen furniture.
So, yes, this is all Ethan Allen.
And I have this piece. I used to have this piece in my bedroom. That section. Okay, let's see what else. And we can't go into this bedroom
We
because
can't go into the main bedroom because of the cats are in there.
the cats are in there.
This is the den.
And it's your, there's one of the cats.
This is Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Amanda's being photographed.
This is your office, study.
Well, it's a den. Right now, one of the cats is staying in here.
You have your
Movie
extensive movie collection there. What's this? Is this a...
Typewriter,
Oh.
electric typewriter.
Yeah, that's very nice. This is what I remember. For some reason, I thought we had blue material or something over here on this wall. Or, did you change something around?
Oh, it used to be blue.
Yeah.
This room used to be blue.
Material on it. or
No,
something.
it was just painted blue.
Oh.
Williamsburg blue, but then last year Sandy redid the room and changed it to yellow.
And you collect these little...
These are David Winter cottages from England.
and you have quite a collection of those, don't you?
Yes.
They're all over the house. Well, let's see the downstairs, if we may. You have your own little exercise bike here, exercise bike.
This is the downstairs.
That's a nice tile I've got in the foyer there. I like that. And this is like a little apartment down here. And I really like this. This is very, very comfortable. All your collection of show posters
Show
through
posters.
the years, things that you did.
And this is
The annex room, like the patio.
it was a two-story addition, and this is the bottom floor.
This is beautiful.
So we use this when we entertain, when I have cast parties. This gets all filled up.
I love this. And see, if I had a house, I'd like to have it like a little like this. This is really, it's just bright and has a lot of personality, and it's very comfortable. In the daytime, it's very nice too. It's a very brightly lit place.
And this is the guest bedroom. It's actually the largest bedroom in the house.
It is? What was this when you moved in? Was it used as a recreation area, or?
This was the guest bedroom, and this was a family room.
Oh, that's right. This split level house. That I've got to remember that was not there.
That wasn't there. And then that's the guest bathroom.
It's pretty. I like the wallpaper theme, the plaid. I like everything about this downstairs area. It's really neat.
And this is
There's your collection of banks, antique banks. This is your pride and joy, right?
this is the bar. It was added a few years ago. And most of the decorations in here are from England that we've picked up on our trips.
A lot of old advertising things and English pub posters. What's that over there? Matches from?
That's a match collection from all over. And those are
More of your
pubs that are made by David Winter, but a different collection. It's called the Malcolm Cooper Tavern Collection.
does have a pub-like atmosphere. There's your wine cellar in the corner.
And then in here we have a laundry and some storage.
I don't need to photograph that. That just looks like a laundry room. This is like a whole house in itself down here. The only thing you don't have is a kitchen. Well, that's quite a house. If it was for sale, what kind of a price would you put on it?
I'm not really sure what houses are going for it here.
Oh, you could easily get away with 200 at least. At least.
Probably 200, 250.
Because you've got this beautiful swimming pool in back, which I'm going to take as a final shot. So I'll fade out, and thank you, Lane.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Dennis.
You're welcome. You have to visit me, too.